Peace, peace.
Peace. Peace. Today I'm busy. What's up?
I said we got it together this week.
We got look.
Okay.
We moving on up. We doing a little better.
I see you. I see you.
Yeah, mama.
Well, we're glad to be here, brother. How you feeling? How was your week?
Crazy. You know, this week Mike Brown weekend. So
Yeah.
Okay.
tomorrow we start with a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, look at
Oh, Champ is here.
He's so funny. Peace.
What's up? What's up?
so waiting on Travis to pull up
I'm here.
in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Soon. We all gonna link up soon.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. Tomorrow we got Torrin Walker having a conversation with Mike Brown, Oscar Grant uncle, and a whole bunch of fathers. We having a black man perspective around what's how black men feel about police brutality and politics and things that's going on. So that's how we're gonna kick the weekend off. We're gonna have a lot of conversations, a lot of fun, a lot of crying, a lot of healing, a lot of grieving.
Mm.
So I've been tasked really for 6 out of the 7 years to organize this weekend, even 7 because I wasn't even here last year, but I was still organizing it. So I'm mad, exhausted. I'm probably about to roll up and watch y'all teach. How y'all week going?
Watch us teach, man. We finna enjoy this wonderful conversation
Together. It's gonna be great. I like the way you try to get
I'm running from y'all. we leading on our master educators. Ain't that right, Tori?
We got you.
Right. No, but this week, definitely want to make sure we share on our platforms and everything. This month, man, is just a spiritual month for us revolutionaries, man. Especially if you are in tune or if you are in solidarity with the prison struggle. This month has so much meaning in it. So we try our best to be disciplined, and I say try our best. We try our best to make sure that we're sticking to what Black August means. And today we're going to share with everybody what it means to us and why, the what, the why, and the how of Black August. And we're just going to jump into it. And hopefully by the end of this show, everybody is like, look, this is something that I want to do. This is something I want to be a part of. And again,
your family involved, your community involved.
Get everybody involved and everybody play their role. That's all. That's what we about. That's what the IBFA is about. That's what Mad Lib Education is about. Everybody playing their role.
New Africa is about.
Ashe. So
and next week, hopefully, we weren't able to get in touch with our spiritual guide this week, but usually we have Olarifa get on and do at least like a 5-minute meditation with everybody just to get just to get us grounded, get everybody in the same space, in the same head space, and just for us to be able to get the mission rolling, get everything going. So next week, hopefully, she will be in the building with us. We always enjoy when she does the meditation. It just puts us on the right path to what we need to do for the day, for that session.
Ashe. So what we gonna do? I guess we'll do a little check-in real fast with everybody. So again, this week is the first week of Black August, so the first couple of days is always hard. So me and Z, we've been fasting, we've been studying, we've been trying to build our bonds and our relationships and stuff like that through Black August. But my week has been busy, of course. Again, we're preparing to receive some of our homeschool students in these upcoming weeks. Been cleaning up, so it's been very busy.
Just came from vacation.
Just came off vacation, kind of winding down from that, and just trying to get everything on point. That's how my week has been. What about you?
Thank you. Well, my week has been, again, busy, but it's been well. Again, first week of Black August is always balls to the wall, vaginas to the wall. We gotta you gotta go hard. Those first couple of days, you try to break habits. Those first couple of days are always the hardest. But I can say that the fasting, that's been going well. The children have been doing well with it. I mean, I can't complain at all. Like I said, we just came from vacation from California. We were glad to see all of our family. Glad to be back with the students as well. And like I said, jumping into what we love to do anyway is this movement business. So glad to be here with y'all.
Ashay. How was your week? I know you was talking a little, Tori. How was your week? How you feeling, brother?
I'm on I'm multitasking. Mama Julia got me on this Clubhouse thing. I never even really messed with Clubhouse like that for real. My week been a whole bunch of conversations, a whole lot of trying to be as strategic as possible. A whole lot of frustration with the movement, with BLM, with local Negroes, with politicians. Seeing the beauty of really just Cori Bush. If anybody has seen Cori Bush, man, she if y'all haven't seen, she went outside and really did something at the Capitol Hill. She a congresswoman from St. Louis, from Ferguson. I marched in the streets with her. The Democrats and the Republicans, we got to make it clear, they was ready to go on vacation and let the eviction moratorium, elapse across the country and allow states to do whatever they wanted. So protesters went outside. We can't omit that there's people already outside. She ended up going outside, joining them, staying out there, calling for more rallies, and having protests until Biden administration is now going to cease the eviction. So to me, it's 7 years later. It's the week, going back to August 1st, which is the beginning of Black August, is the day that Michael Brown Jr. actually graduated from high school and is about to go to college. It's just a heavy week talking to Mike Brown Sr., holding that brother up. He don't smoke cigarettes no more, so he didn't already start his Black August fast. So I'm proud of him on that. Probably gonna still pull up a little shot of Henny for him, but we just trying to really be as strategic and be as powerful as possible. And so this week has been challenging, but of course it's just beautiful in that way.
Thank you for sharing.
I'm definitely glad to hear that you keeping keeping in mind the brothers and the healing process, man. So this last month or so, man, I've been hearing good things from you as it relates to the black men in our community. So I definitely commend you for that, brother.
And I ain't been tripping at the crib with Bay. So so I've been snaps.
Okay.
We got a higher level of understanding. So the revolution is starting at the crib and it's going good.
Yes.
So we got
love that.
What's up, Anaya? Anaya on the stream. It's really dope in the back part to see all the things and the people. It's really lit. I like this StreamYard.
Man, make sure you tell everybody to keep them questions coming in and stuff like that.
Yes, please.
All right. So I guess we can just get into it.
Is he gone?
Oh, no, Adam Brown, boom, there you go.
Okay, you're not getting away.
How was your week, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, bro, I've really just been trying to get focused, yo. I was just realizing how distracted we are we just have so many distractions as a people, man. And I just really been trying to get focused, trying to get my health back. I unfortunately had a couple of trips to the ER, and so after that joint, I was like, yo, like I gotta make some lifestyle changes.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I've been like, so I've really been trying to like change what I eat, watch what I eat. And the crazy part was like I already was watching what I eat, right? I already didn't really eat red meat like that or pork or any of that, but it was just like I'm just saying where we try to go, right, is where we try to get to. It takes another level of commitment, another level of greatness, right? Another level of consistency. So even though I was doing things that I needed to be great, I still need to do more to get to another level of consistency and greatness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I've been trying to like get better. Also, I spend a lot of time with my kids, y'all. And the one thing we got to talk about in the future that I don't really hear about, right? When you hear about King and X and all these leaders, like how they stay away from their kids.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Bruh, like my daughter, like I'm leaving, right? Tori already said I'm about to pull up. And like I gotta pull up to places. My daughter was crying when I left, yo. Like y'all see I post pictures of my kids on Facebook. Like my kids be the world to me. And it's hard to leave them, yo. So what we another conversation we need to talk about in the future is these black families in the movement, and like what we need to do for our kids, especially because it's really like my kids are sharing me with the world, right? Instead of me being with them, they're sacrificing their time with me so that I can go do what I gotta do. So that's why I'm at, y'all. I'm ready to get into this Black August. I'm ready to keep
Yeah.
doing the work to get free. So yeah, that's it.
I see the Liberation Afro popping off.
I say,
Love it.
just to speak to what you said is if anybody knows me and my wife, they know that you either gonna see us together, you're gonna see us with one of the kids, both the kids, or all of them, whether we together or not, in movement spaces. And we've decided that that's what has to be done. Our children have to go to these spaces with us. They have to be on our side. They hold us accountable, right? Because our children are there, right? They keep us from going astray, right? Sometimes we want to go a little radical. I'm like, nah, my children right here, so I'm a chill, right? And we also, what we did to combat that is also we've always offered us to do childcare in movement spaces, right? So we'll sacrifice sitting in a meeting, or we'll sacrifice sitting in a training or a workshop just to be with your children so you can.
And giving them political education on their level as well. So they're not just in there playing with toys and stuff. We're learning the same thing that adults are learning,
On
except
that
on your
level.
level. Exactly.
Right. So I definitely want to spend some time talking about that. Maybe, dedicate a session to that, just, about the children and or just how to cope in the movement with different things because it's so hard. But as we know, if you know any movement babies, if you know any people, any of these people that are our age that grew up in the movement and they grew up on the side of their mom and dad on the front lines,
that's all they know.
They a different type of breed, right? They a different type of breed right now. No, so again, we know that it works, and that's something that we're that we just have to keep in mind. So I definitely appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah, I say we do.
Appreciate that. So I guess we can hop right into we breaking Black August down into 4 different parts, and this is part 1. So part 1 is going to be about the what is Black August, why do we commemorate it, and how do we commemorate it. Some of the names that you'll hear today, right, we may skim over them briefly, but in the next following weeks, we'll go more in depth about them and why their name is even mentioned during this time. So again, this is just the first part. We're going to give you a little overview, a little brief overview, the how, the why, the what, and we're going to go from there. But I wanted to start off with a quote from Mumia.
Yes.
And we'll go from there. So, Black August.
And I got you. All right. Black August is a month of divine meaning, of repression and radical resistance, of injustice and divine justice, of repression and righteous rebellion, of individual and collective efforts to free the slaves and break the chains that bind us. And that is from New African Prisoner, Mumia Abu Jamal.
Ashe. So again, Black August is a time that we commemorate, that we rededicate ourselves to our fight to get free, right? It's a time to where we stand in solidarity with all of our political prisoners that are currently incarcerated, that we stand in solidarity with the former political prisoners, the freedom fighters who gave their lives in this struggle, and to our new African and Black freedom fighters who are in exile, such as Assata. So this is a time to recommit ourselves to that struggle. This is a time to educate ourselves about that struggle, right? So Black August came out of the California prison system, and it came out of the struggle. It was a need for it. It came out of the struggle of the 60s and 70s. During the 60s and 70s in California, you had freedom fighters like George Jackson, W.L. Nolan, Katari, and a few other freedom fighters that we don't know their names. They organized within the penal system, right? So they started to organize. What George Jackson talked about is going from the criminal mentality to a revolutionary mentality, right? So what they did was organize study groups. They organized study sessions such as this, and they started to educate themselves. During that time on the streets, you had the Black Panther Party, right? And you had the Black Panthers who were big on political education. You had big on reading and big on just knowing who our enemy was. So you had these brothers and sisters who were going behind the bars, going to those concentration camps and seeing the atrocities, right? The repression that was happening behind the bars, and their fighting spirits couldn't take it, right? They couldn't take just being repressed. So again, it started fighting back against the system. And again, once we start fighting back against the system, that system is going to buck back against us, right? And it becomes this war, becomes this battle. Black August was first celebrated in 1979 in the concentration camps. It was to commemorate the recent freedom fighters that had lost their lives.
Well, it came on the hill. Yes. So the very first, like we said, we're going to hit on some names, and then we'll get in depth with them later because we can talk about them for hours. But it came on the heels of, like my husband said, of all the freedom fighters and political prisoners that were murdered in the concentration camps. So Comrade George Jackson, Jonathan Jackson, like I said, Katari, W.L. Nolan, all of these names. Again, like I said, it reminds me of when we first came over to Virginia. That first, I don't want to say batch, but those first enslaved Africans that came over here, they were fighting. Just like those political prisoners, when they went in there and saw what was going on, they were fighting. It was like the Middle Passage, same thing. So they had to fight. Again, even with all that was going on, they still found time to stay militant. That's what I love about Black August. No matter what was happening, I mean, they've seen all these murders, the brutality, all of these things going on, and they stayed militant. They kept it going. It's 2021. This started in 1979. It's 2021, and we still commemorating Black August.
Right.
So that's how militant we are. So we need to know that about ourselves. Right. The studying, you can never study too much. You can never study too much. You should always have a book on your shelf in your hand, in your mind, because that's the only way we're going to get, not the only way, but that's one of the main ways that we're going to get free, period. The fasting. A lot of these things that we're, like Hood Scholar was saying, a lot of these things we're putting in our body is messing up our mind where we can't even think straight. So that's where fasting actually can make you stronger. People think because you don't have food in your stomach, you'll be weak. But no, fasting actually makes us stronger in spirit and in mind. And the training. We always got to be training physically, spiritually, mentally training. all the time. The oppressor is doing it 25/8. So we got to be on it just like them.
Right.
And the fighting don't stop. Like I said, it's 2021. The same issues are going on behind the walls. Same ones. It hasn't ended, you know. But again, we have us out here. We have to be a collective force. There's no way to have this movement without the ones on the inside connecting with us on the outside. We're their arms and legs and things like that. They're the brain behind the machine, and we got to be the body that moves it. So that's where we come in. Again, Black August for our family is very serious. It's something that our children already know what's up towards the end of July, and they know these names.
Yeah.
Luckily, we've been able to, particularly with Katari, I never thought that I would ever in my lifetime meet his wife. Yet now she's one of our elders, and that gives me the spirit to keep fighting. Period. Like this movement, you meet some wonderful intellectuals, even with the jail and the, like I said, all of this repression, oppression, all of these things, all the isms that are going on. We still have so many great intellectuals. We have so many great artists. We have so many great authors, all of these things that come out of this. So again, Black August is a time of commemorating the fight in our ancestors that has always been there, and the fight that continues today, and that we need to be getting all our political prisoners out of there. It's political prisoners that's been there longer than me and him we've been alive put together, and it don't make sense. So that's why we here. Black August, Ashe. Let's do it.
Ashe. I mean, I don't even know how to follow that up. She touched on a little bit of everything with Black August. And again, the motto of Black August is study, fast, train, fight. And we're going to break down that a little bit in a little bit. So the why Black August, right? So we asked ourselves, why was the month August chose? So the month of August was chose because there were so many different significant events that happened in August. There's so many revolutionary freedom fighters' birthdays, so many transition days that happened in August. So many rebellions got sparked in August. Like the brother Tory said, the Mike Brown rebellion, that rebellion got cracking in August. Next week is the commemoration of that, right? The anniversary of that rebellion getting popping. So it seems like, you know, and I know many of us has heard this before. Again, it's a black space, so I know we've heard this, that in the summer, something about the heat that get black folks antsy, right? So even the Nat Turners, right? The
Boys Came in Ireland, the Haitian Revolution.
The Haitian Revolution, all these things happen in August, man. So I something that's spiritual about August and black folks, right? Something about it. So I just wanted to go over. So that was just to name a few things. You know, our Fred Hampton's birthdays, Marcus Garvey, right? So again, those are a few of the things that happened in August, and each week we'll go over what happened in that week. So for this week in August, we'll go over a few different events that happened. So August 1st is again, we talked about Katari Golden and his assassination, and his significance with Black August is after many attempts of suppressing the rebellion, suppressing our brothers and sisters behind in those concrete walls in California prison, brothers like Katari took the mantle of continuing the study, right? They continue to have these study groups. They continue to fight. They continue to try to make changes within the minds of the prisoners and within the prison itself, right? And Katari is a standout. You know, he did his job. He took up the mantle, and he was I'm going to say he was murdered, right? He was murdered for his political stance, right?
His power.
He was murdered. He was left out on a rec yard. They went out to rec one day. The brothers out there was playing football. Katari had an accident. He fell down, hit his head on a pipe that probably wasn't even supposed to be there in the first place. And instead of the guards laying the yard down and coming out and giving him medical attention, they laid everybody out on the yard. They stripped everybody down individually, took them back to their cell, waited. Katari was the last person out there, they got him, took him to the infirmary. On his way to the hospital, he lost his life. Right, that's murder. That's
neglect.
That's neglect. That's murder. And again, I believe that situation wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for his political views, if he wasn't organizing the Black Guerrilla Fam, if he wasn't organizing these study groups, if he didn't have his boots on the ground fighting against injustice. So on the first day of August, that's one of the people that we honor. That's one of the people that we commemorate. That's one of the people that we pour libations for. And his name is
Katari Gaulden.
Katari Gaulden. So we keep his
Katari Gaulden.
Okay. Another significance about August 1st that the diaspora celebrates is West Indies Independence Day. So officially August 1st, I'm not sure the year, was when, and I'm gonna use quotation marks now, was when the West Indies legally slavery was outlawed and they got their independence. But again, that's quotations around that, right? So again, but we do honor that day as West Indies Independence Day. On the 2nd of August, we have James Baldwin's birthday.
And Chakwe.
Right? So we honor James Baldwin. Again, he was one of our great intellectuals, one of our great writers, playwriters.
Just a great intellectual mind.
Period. A great African period. And we also have Chokwe Lumumba's birthday, right?
One of the greatest lawyers ever.
Right. One of the greatest lawyers. One of our
founding fathers.
One of our people of the Republic of New Africa, right? So again, we honor him. His birthday falls on the 2nd of August. On the 6th of August, we have Jamaican Independence Day, right? So that's, again, we celebrate Jamaican Independence Day. That's part of the West Indies, part of the Caribbean. So again, that's another time to celebrate, another thing that happened in August, which gives it significance. And on the 7th, we have the Marion County Courthouse Rebellion that was led by George Jackson's younger brother, Jonathan Jackson, where he went into the Marion County Courthouse during a trial of some prisoners, and he facilitated the kidnap of a few of the people. We'll get, again, I don't want to go too in depth in this because this is one of the further on we'll go more in depth, but he staged a rebellion to free the Soledad brothers. Period. And his brother was one of the Soledad brothers, right? So again, we'll talk more about that, but we honor him that day. And his brother was 17 years old, and he took the fight to the man, like our comrade George Jackson said. Man, he was a revolutionary fighter in his highest state. Period. Right? When he went into that court, but we'll talk more about that. So those are some of the significant things that happened this week in August. Again, so the why we celebrate August, again, all of these significant things that happen, and we're going to talk a little bit about the how. So in 1979 was the first celebrated, or the first commemorated Black August, the first time that it was commemorated behind the walls. And what the brothers did was they wore black armbands, right, around their arm or their wrist, to represent all the brothers that had lost their lives in this fight. You know, they fasted throughout the month, kind of like a Ramadan fast. And the fast goes from sunset to sundown, right? Depending on how disciplined you are. Some people might go from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., depending how disciplined you are. And a lot of those brothers go those days without water or food, right? But that, again, that depends how disciplined, that depends what your body can take. You know, we recommend drinking water throughout the day because we do, again, it's a study train fast. So we training, we sweating, we getting down. So if you're not as disciplined, you know, drink water. If you're not as disciplined to drink water, then you have to have something, you know, we recommend maybe some juices, some smoothies, some teas or something like that. But the fasting was a big part of it. Again, and it's to show that, again, our brothers and sisters that are behind those walls, they don't have the luxury of being able to eat what they want, when they want, how they want, right?
Yeah.
If those brothers and sisters go on lockdown, they on lockdown. I've been on lockdown and we ain't eat in 24 hours because there wasn't no staff in the kitchen to be able to do nothing. And then when they did roll food around, it was lunches.
Nothing, yeah.
It was lunches. So we didn't ate lunches for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a whole week straight because the prison is shut down. So again, by us fasting, especially us out here on the outside, it just shows our solidarity and our commitment with the struggle, right? We're denying ourselves all the wonderful spiritual beneficial things about fasting is the same thing we embody, but with a revolutionary mind frame. Again, so the brothers fasted. The brothers were in constant study groups, right? The brothers made sure they were doing their readings. And again, with us out here, studying, right? So during Black August, we want to know what's going on with the prison struggle. We want to know the names of our freedom fighters.
We're trying to get out all that stuff, writing them letters, checking on their families,
taking some action, right, during that time. So studying, the fasting, and something in the California prisons that the brothers do anyway was train, right? So it's mandatory training. That means we're gonna come out. If you gotta do our push-ups and our sit-ups in our cell, our shadow boxing, so on and so forth, we're gonna train. We're gonna train our body. We're gonna train physically. We're gonna train mentally. We're gonna train spiritually.
We're doing it together.
Period. And the same thing to this day when we're commemorating Black August, we're to train, right, into whatever capacity that means to you. So when I say train to some brothers and sisters, that means go out there, load your, clean your rifles. That means go practice on your marksmanship, right? When I tell some other brothers and sisters train, that might mean, you know, they practicing a long distance running, getting their body in shape. They swimming, they this, they that. They getting their physical, mental, and spiritual in line for this war that we're in, right?
Walking, jogging, all that stuff.
So again, train to your capacity. One thing that we believe as revolutionaries or just as Black folks, man, is that, you know, we have to be healthy enough to at least be able to save ourselves.
And one other person.
And at least one, you know, most of us got children and stuff. So I can't, if it's a house fire or anything like that, I got to be able to get myself out and I got to be able to get my children out. My wife, we got to get out of here together. So if I can't climb out a window, if I can't hop a wall, if I can't hop a gate, then I need to be training to do so, right? So training. So we got the studying, the brothers was fasting, the brothers was training, and the last aspect is fight. So it's to take some action, right? It's the fight. So us being on this session right now was a part of our fight, disseminating this information to the masses, to everybody, just being in solidarity with everybody. Your fight may be to go feed the homeless. Your fight may be to right one of our political prisoners. Your fight may be just to bring awareness to the prison struggle today.
Or to write, period. Like you just said, like Mumia. He behind the wall, but he's writing. You know what I'm saying? These writings are making it to the streets. These writings still have merit and they still have meaning. And his words mean so much. So there's so many things you could do as far as fighting is concerned. So many lanes you could go down.
Right.
Even in the physical. Definitely that. You know, out there doing your taekwondo or capoeira or all that stuff. Let's do it.
All right. So again, back to the fast. We're going to stop back to the top of the list, the studying. We're going to stop back. So study, fight, train, fast. So the studying, what do we study during Black August? Again, we recommend studying anything that, first of all, any writings by new African and Black political prisoners should be read, right? So any writings from Mumia, Mutulu, we got so many different new African scholars that are behind the bars that are on the ground zero writing about this struggle, writing. So that's the first thing that I recommend us study. We have some book recommendations from the IBFA and Mad Liberation of other things that you can study as it relates to the prison struggle, as it relates to this war that they have against us, right? As it relates to mass incarceration, right? And I guess we could take the time and share some of the books. Yeah. So from our book list that we can study.
So we have the first one is Golden Gulag by Ruth Wilson Gilmore.
So Golden
The
Gulag.
Golden Gulag.
And the Golden Gulag talks about just the capitalist aspect of the prisons, right? And you know how again how it's the golden egg of America, right? It's just this prison system, and how it's used for repression and how it's used for funds.
Ashe. Our next one is Asada.
So
By
Asada,
Asada
we got
Shakur, of course.
Asada. Let me see. Excuse me.
Always a great read, whether it's Black August or not.
So-
Was a new African in exile right now, of course.
So again, Asada and her story and her struggle
Mhm.
is something that we should be familiar with. Again, Asada, she didn't sit in jail. You know, she was able to get out. She was able to gain her freedom by force with the brothers and sisters of the underground,
Ashe.
and she's still in exile today. She's still a political exile.
Mhm.
So again, her story we all should know. So this is a good read during Black August, and this is actually one of our top recommendations
Just across the board.
this month for Black August.
Ashe. Our next one is Arrested Justice, which is one of our another
Arrested
good one.
Justice.
Yes.
If my brother Akeem Bode's on here, yes, this is your book. Still got it. It's safe and it's in good hands.
Yes.
But yes, Arrested Justice, and this is one of the only books that we can find that besides Asada that specifically talks about women
Yes.
incarceration
Mhm.
and the effects of just this prison system on our women, and it's also written
Ashe.
by a Black woman.
Yes,
so this
Beth
is
Ritchie.
another recommended read.
Ashe. And of course, Soledad Brother, my comrade Field
Soledad
Marshal George
Brother.
Jackson.
I want to thank my bae for getting this book. So again, Soledad Brother, it's a collection of letters written by George Jackson, and it really allows you to get into the brother George Jackson mind. He's really pivotal in why we celebrate Black August. He was
Another intellectual mind, yes.
right. He was convicted, or he took a deal to say that, you know, he robbed a gas station for $70, thinking that he would get a deal in court, and they gave him 1 to life, right? So that's indeterminate. So you can either do 1 year up to life. George Jackson, for an alleged $70 robbery, ended up doing 11 years in prison, and I believe like 7 of those in solitary confinement. While George Jackson was in there, he was able to change his mentality from a criminal mentality to a revolutionary mentality. And the writings that he gave us are crucial, and everybody should be familiar with it. And his story, his struggle is a big part of the reason why we even celebrate Black August. So commemorate Black August, excuse me. So again, Soledad Brother, and it's letters to his mom, his father, his brother, and it really allows you to get into the mind of George Jackson on a level outside of the dragon, right? So we always think about George Jackson as the dragon, and he gonna bring down the thunder. But this allows you to see another side of him, and he talks about some key things that were going on in America during that time, such as the assassination of King and so on and so forth. So
really good read.
Really good read.
Our next one is Blood in the Water, which is about the Attica Rebellion. And it's by Heather Ann Thompson. So again, Blood in the Water.
So Blood in the Water. So again, we all should be familiar with the Attica Rebellion. Also, it's something, again, these rebellions
right behind each other.
They right behind each other in the 70s, man, and it again, and they sparked off because of prisoner abuse, prisoner injustice, right? It's overcrowdedness in a prison, not having adequate soap and water, right? Not having adequate food, not having adequate space. So again, it's these rebellions weren't just because it was angry criminals in here just wanting to get back at the police. Yes, that was a factor, right? Because again, these pigs, these police, they have this. Excuse me, let me get my words together. During the 60s, during the 50s, 60s, and 70s, you had a lot of Southern white races moved to California for better opportunity. A lot of these Southerners were ex-military. And when these ex-military, when they got to California, one of the easiest jobs that they can get was becoming a CO at the prison, right? They already knew how to shoot. They were marksmen, so on and so forth. So again, the COs already had a bias, a prejudice against Black and brown people when they started that job in California. That job is a shitty job, right? It's even back then, that job is a shitty job. You're around depression all day, so on and so forth. So these white folks, these white racist Southerners would take it out on the prisoners, right? And if you made yourself a target, right? If you made yourself what we say, a political prisoner, and you started fighting for the rights of prisoner rights, you are a target and you were subject to the brutality of these COs, of these officers. And you can look it up. During this time, man, they used to bet on fights, right? They'll let 3 Mexicans out, 2 blacks out, 2 Mexicans out, 5 blacks out, and they'll bet and see the last man standing, right? And again, most of these guards are marksman shooters, so they can shoot. In California, once you step in that prison, there's signs everywhere that says no warning shots, right? So again, if you got black and browns fighting, that tower guard has the right to shoot. And so many people got shot. Again, these are just the names that we are telling you. But during the 60s and 70s and on, so many political prisoners were executed by the tower guards and their guns.
And you can imagine how it was then with less evidence, like it is now with more evidence, and they still get off.
Right.
So just put it in that put it in that mind frame.
So again, the Attica Rebellion, that's blood in the water.
I say. So the next one is Live from Death Row, another great one again from Mumia Abu-Jamal, who was a new African prisoner right now, political prisoner. Again, the book is Live from Death Row. Live from Death Row,
and we'll do a list and we'll put it out so you all be able to get these books.
And it's just what it sounds like, what the title says.
Live from Death Row.
Live from Death Row.
Right.
You know, he's seeing it in live and in person right now, in time. While we're talking right now, that's where he's at right now. So we need to be thinking about that too as well. Our next one, The New Jim Crow, Michelle Alexander. So I'm sure I know a lot of us have read this, but it's always good to reread, honestly. They've actually banned this book from a lot of prisons, so that's how good and informative it is, and how accurate it is. And this came out in it's not that y'all, it's not that old at all. But again, like I said, she gets to the nitty gritty, down to the real stuff. Again, like I said, that book has been banned in many prisons.
All these books,
already, all of them. If you get caught with this in your cell, especially in California,
you get caught with this, bro. This none of these books. I don't think Asada, none of these books allowed. The brothers, I'm sorry. This is the last.
Our last one on the list is Blood in My Eye. Comrade Field Marshal George Jackson.
Again, George Jackson. This right here, like my brother Chris Marshall said, man, this is a dissertation of all the studying, of all the analytical thinking that this brother did. This is his dissertation right here, Blood in My Eyes. If you are a revolutionary, this is a new book. This is a new one. But if you are a revolutionary, you have read through this book. You have dirtied this book. You have flipped through it. You know, we have
we got another one.
Our meaning of fascism, right? He gives a breakdown of what fascism is. Yes. He gives a breakdown on
class
on just the struggle period, right? So again, he gives a breakdown on what a political prisoner is, how you get there, so on and so forth. And again, one thing that I like that he said about political prisoners is that anytime one of us black folks are put in jail, it is political. So we are political prisoners, even if we aren't fighting, even if we are lost sheep and we are lost political prisoner with the criminal mentality, we are put in prison at different rates. It's different from us going to prison than a white person. It's political. It's political reasons why. Yes. So again, this is our recommended read.
And we'll put the list or email it. We have email addresses now, so we'll get those out to you all.
Yeah, we'll get that to you.
Now let's see. Well, what I want to get into right now is the flea days. So flea days there are 4 of them in August, and all of these days represent days where one of our political prisoners was murdered. So we have August 1st.
And explain to them exactly what happens on the flea days.
Oh, okay. Yes. So on a flea day, we do a 24-hour fast. 24 hours. Yes, you heard me correctly, people. 24 hours. All right.
So silly.
Seriously. So that's like no food, no water if you can help it. I say drink minimal. I've actually done it. I didn't think it was possible. I've literally took like 3 sips of water all day, and I was all right. So, and I have to think about our brothers and sisters behind the walls. Like, they don't even have these luxuries.
You got no clean water. They're
so
the same water that's in the damn toilet.
I gotta give it up. So that's what happens on our flea days. And then again, like we said, study, fasting, training, fighting. We going extra hard on these flea days with that, because you got 24 hours to do it. So the first day is August 1st, and that is for Katari Gaulden. The next one is August the 7th, which is for Jonathan Jackson.
Man, child.
Exactly. George Jackson's younger brother. The 13th, August 13th, is for W.L. Nolan, who was actually murdered on January the 13th. But he was like the first casualty for real. So he's in there for August the 13th. And then we have August 21st, which is for Comrade Field Marshal George Jackson. Very important. Like I said, all of these days are significant. Every day in August is significant, because we're commemorating our fallen soldiers and the ones that are still there. But again, these flea days are August 1st, August 7th, August the 13th, and August 21st. On these 4 days, we do a 24-hour fast in commemoration of our fallen soldiers who were murdered behind the walls. Ashe.
Just want to take a breather right there, let everybody soak in what we've been talking about. Let's see, any questions out there, comments?
Oh, I forgot. Y'all got to take a breath in real quick. Hold it. No, I'm just kidding. But our family this year, what we want to do is take Black August to, let me not forget, September the 7th, if I'm not mistaken.
The 9th. So,
the 9th.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
September the 9th, which was the start of the Attica Rebellion, which was on the heels of George Jackson being murdered. That was 2 weeks later?
Yeah,
maybe a couple weeks later. Happened right after that. So this year, our family is going to try to go through the fast until September the 9th. We would love for y'all to join us. We understand if you like, look, lady, August is the end.
Yeah,
I get it. But if you can hang in there with us, we would love to commemorate all the way up until September 9th, the Attica Rebellion. Ashe.
What we got, Tori? What you doing back there, man, in the back room? What's good?
You got any questions in the chat? What's happening? There he is.
Can y'all hear me now?
Baba, Elder, Tori.
That's how I feel. I went to the protest, and the young people call me the OG of the protest.
Yeah, we've been there. We was that.
I said, nigga, hold on now. I can beat you in a race. Hold on now. Don't OG me out. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it. Here come LeMay. Yes. Come on in, LeMay. What's up? I'm on live. Boo.
And y'all, please put your questions and such in the comments. Questions, comments, anything you would like to add to this chat, please.
Yeah, that's
put it in the chat.
All right, so we do got a question. Oh, you do, Bomani. I'm trying to. First of all, how do you spell? Is it flea or flea days?
F-L-E-A.
Okay, I ain't know. You taught me, master teacher. See, I ain't know nothing about that. Not yet. And how did y'all find out about the flea day? That's
so
interesting.
So again, the brothers that originally commemorated Black August came with those days, right? And again, those are specific days where fallen freedom fighters, you know, significant things happen. So those flea days were a part of the original commemoration of Black August, and we had nothing to do with those. But we do. Again, it's just a 24-hour fast, and it's again those days. The first day, Jonathan Jackson lost his life. Qatari lost his life. Excuse me. The seventh, Jonathan Jackson lost his life. Nolan lost his life, and George Jackson lost. So those days those life is gone, you know. So for us to do that 24-hour fast is just saying that we're in solidarity. We feel, we hear, and I feel you. You know, again, it's a feeling that's associated with hunger, right?
And then again, I think us as new Africans, we evoking their spirits on that day for like in real time. Like, we doing this for you. You know, their names are not forgotten.
Yeah. So again, and a part of fasting. So I just wanted to add real quick. So a part of the fasting, especially when Black August was originally celebrated behind the walls, were they cut themselves off from corporate media, right? So it's no TVs, no radio. It was no fast. It was no canteen, right? So they weren't even eating no food from the canteen. They were not giving no money to the prison system. They were refraining from drugs, anything that was mind altering, cigarettes, so on and so forth. So the fast it's a disciplined fast, and it's for those who can, to the best of your ability. So if you say, like Tori, if you say, look, man, I'm just gonna cut out, you know, I'm just gonna not do the food part, you know, I still gotta smoke my little stuff on the side, you know, cool, man, it's to the best of your ability. Some people might say, look, man, I ain't doing no drug, no this, no that. It's to the best of your ability, right? It's to show yourself that you can be disciplined. So I just wanted to add that aspect to the fast, right? It wasn't just food. It was their mentality also. They wasn't, you know, we ain't turned on the TV, right? And if you do turn on the TV, even us out here, it applies to us. So that's why I've been kind of bagging off of social media during this month, at least frivolous social media, right? I've been kind of bagging off just, you know, some of the YouTube stuff, and trying to, if I do get on social media, I'm gonna make my Black August post, or I'm gonna make a post, or I'm gonna like the post I need, and I'm gonna get off, right?
I think the ancestors knew it was Black August because the tree fell in our backyard and fell on the Wi-Fi, so it was like, y'all not finna watch TV.
Y'all not finna do nothing anyway.
So look, hey, we're here. And then after the fact, you know, one thing I've noticed is, even with me, you know, I like my healing herb, y'all. It helps me with my anxiety and appetite and all of that stuff too. But now that I have not been doing it, I've had to deal with my damn emotions. You know what I'm saying? And that's shut up. I'm just kidding.
It's a real Black August over there, huh? Okay.
Anyway, so look, it's been great. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously though, it's like, you know what? So my ass do be in an altered state. You know what I'm saying? Not like so out of my mind like that, but I do. And now it's like, hey, you got a sober mind right now. You got to deal with all that. You know, but I've been finding other avenues to do so. So that's been good. So I've been on some self-discovery too this Black August. So that's been great. I can say that. Okay.
All right. Somebody asked why flee? Or what is it an acronym? Like, what does it mean?
You know what? I'm not
Bomani, I see you out there. Tell her what flea day mean.
We'll get y'all First Liberation Expedition.
Come through, Minister of Information.
Minister of Information.
Right.
Dang.
That's right. That's how
the comments on
Republic of Africa, baby.
Appreciate that, brother. Solid.
I got the rebound.
All right. And I just want to give, so in 1980, right? I believe that's the first time the Black August was celebrated outside the walls. So I just wanted to name some organization. I wanted to give them their props on bringing Black August to the streets, right? And these organizations have been able to keep Black August alive. And I remember, you know, just speaking of Bomani, man, I just remember me and Zasada, like, look, man, we finna celebrate Black August, right? And we did so. And we just said, you know, we put together some events, and we were doing the feast. What's the feast? We're doing on the last day. And we didn't know that there was collectives out there still keeping it alive, right? We didn't know. We just said, you know what, we're gonna do this. We're gonna bring this to our area. We was in Mobile. We said that's this what, and we did it even before we brought it to public. We did it. You know, I said, babe, you know, it was Black August. I explained to the best of my ability what Black August was. Me being a former prisoner of California, something that wasn't new to me. So again, we've always done it as a family. And again, man, I'm just excited to see where we are now. Like I said, we're on this session. We're able to bring it to the masses and just keep saying it. You know, Black August. So again, in 1980, the Black August Organizing Committee, you know, held its first Black August commemoration in San Francisco. So again, they held it. It had poetry. It was like, you know, some of the Black stuff that we do anyway. And you know, it was a wonderful Black event, revolutionary spirited. And again, in 81, it was held again in San Antonio Park. It had speakers, education, books, so on and so forth. In 82, same thing. They kept it during the early 80s. They kept it alive. The other organizations, the New African Independence Movement, I believe, and the Malcolm X grassroots movement also are worthy to be mentioned and just keeping Black August alive. And they do I believe is it the Malcolm X grassroots movement? They do the benefit concert, right? The Black August benefit concert. And again, last year I seen, I'm not sure what's on the books for this year, but that's something that's not new. That's something that has been going on and hopefully will continue to go on. And again, we don't want Black August to become commercialized, right? We don't want it to become where, you know, you got these white folks talking about Black August and all this shit, man. So again, it's revolutionary spirited. It's us, it's ours. And again, it's a spiritual time. Again, I can't pound that enough, man. It's a spiritual time
to ground yourself,
to ground yourself in this struggle and to just know, you know, where we're going. I say, you got any more questions out there?
I could kind of see those screen, but it's so tiny.
Here it go. I'll let y'all answer that.
So, Bomani.
So
I tried. Look, no, from sun up to sundown, y'all ain't doing none of that.
Sun up to sundown. Okay.
So listen. So during Black August, it's no smoking, no drinking. Again, it's a time to show you are disciplined, right? And again, those brothers inside the prison system, they go through some shit, so they deserve to smoke if they can, right? So no, it's a time of no smoking and drinking. Again, that's to your abilities, right? So again, if you're struggling, right, or if it's medication that you need for your anxiety, so on and so forth, I mean, that's on you. But no, if you're a disciplined soldier, no smoking, no drinking, no none of that. If you to your ability, to your discipline.
No, and I'm definitely saving a whole lot more money during Black August. I'll tell you that much. I'm serious, like for real. Like I really have to be like steadfast in thinking about holding the road, thinking about where I'm going. So I really try to refrain as long as I can. Like I said, I do have anxiety too, and you know, like I said, I am a breast cancer survivor. So you know, I do for the pain and things like that sometimes. But again, I've still been from like maybe multiple today to like one, seriously. So
and so we try to stay in the so again, you don't want anything that's mind altering, right? So again, if you eat sugar and that causes you to get off path, it's a drug also. So don't be picking on the drinkers and smokers, you know what I'm saying, and people doing stuff, Bomani. But yeah, so anything that alters the mind, anything that takes you off that path, we just gonna get rid of. You know, so no drugs. So even if people that take recreational pills and all that type, it's out. You know, if you got a headache, you know what I'm saying, let's try to like even Z, you know, she was on her moon cycle and she roughed through it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, baby, you want to smoke? You know what I'm saying? She's like, nah, I'm gonna rough through it and make sure.
Thank you, Tori. I appreciate that. I did. I refrained. I did.
She did. You know, so again, and again, that's a show of discipline.
Yes.
Because that's it's a medication. It wasn't recreation. It wasn't nothing like that. So again, it's just to show our discipline.
Yeah, because like I said, we have to think about our brothers and sisters behind the walls. Like they ain't even getting down with no pruno right now. You feel me? Like that's not. I mean, they just not. So
even during this time, one of the things that me and Z talked about is reframing from intercourse, right?
Yep.
So again, it's no sex, right, during this time. And that's something, that's my medicine.
Y'all need to stop.
You know what I'm saying? That's my medicine.
Now, look.
You know what I'm saying? That's my medicine, but I be trying, man. But you know.
That's too far, bro. That's too far.
I'm delusional. I ain't 8 right now, so don't blame me for what I'm talking about.
No. That's not in the spirit of Black August. That is not in the spirit of Black
really
August.
And truly, like on a serious note, though, a lot of our, like I said, our people ain't getting it in.
Right.
So we gotta
to the best of your ability, to your discipline. And we've been doing good. Again, I'm clowning and stuff like that. I love intercourse and everything, but we've been doing good. And it's in the spirit of revolution. It's in the spirit of being a good example to our people. So when people ask us those hard questions, we able to say, yeah, man, we holding the line. Right? We able to say, yeah, we a good example of how you should commemorate Black August.
Or shit, we slipped up over here and just be real. You know what I'm saying?
Like, we doing this, or you catching me? McDonald's. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's hold each other accountable.
So do y'all need to? So do y'all go the whole month, or is it just like a couple of days?
Now you really concerned about that?
Right? He really.
This man right here.
We said we ain't do nothing today, and you didn't ask a whole month full of questions.
Okay, maybe like twice a week. Okay.
Okay, we cut down.
Okay.
Jack. Okay.
What do you consider that? Actually? You know, it's like
so I'm already at the limit because I hit him twice this morning, y'all. So I'm already done. I'm done for the week.
It was still dark.
It was still dark.
Looking up at 4:12. Hey, get up.
I'm done for the week. Yeah.
Mama Sakari, you know you watching. We sorry.
We done took it, but this is what revolutionary education is. This is it's not traditional. It's not your traditional political or popular education. It's a family meeting where we teach it in a communal way.
I say,
and I love that. I say, and we are breaking this down into 4 parts. This was just the first part, just a brief overview. Right. So again, we're going to get into
next week will be the prison struggle as far as Soledad, Marin County, and the San Quentin 6.
So next week.
Yeah, we need to post these joints each day too. That then we can go back and post the ones that we missed. But like the dates y'all already talked about, we need to repost them on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay, got you. Oh yeah, so, I think
the biggest takeaway though.
Let's call it. Go ahead, my bad.
I think the biggest takeaway though, and I mean, nobody could have did this better than YouTube, Bomani and Zazada, is that this is a lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
I want everybody who's watching this, and even for our members who come back and watch this just shows that being a true revolutionary isn't something you do, it's who you are. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about what you drinking, what you eating, how you living, yeah, you can say that and you can do that because that's who you are, right? This isn't like a performance. This isn't something that you're just doing for the cameras. This isn't something that you're even doing just for a time period. But this is how you live your life. Right. And this is real revolutionary education with the IBFA, right? Well, we're saying that you can't be let me say it this way. You can't be no part-time revolutionary.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
I say.
That is the truth.
And everything that y'all show is living this and walking this joint out. So that's why Torah is right. That's why y'all the master teachers.
So
right.
This thing is real, people. Look at these lips. I ain't drank nothing.
I think Minister Bomani asked, like, what programs do we bring to the community during Black August? I don't know if that's just personal for us, but some programs, some things that we can do, some things that we bring is just our solidarity, right? So again, during August, you got a lot of events that are going on. You got the Marcus Garvey event. We haven't in Birmingham. We haven't done anything specifically for Black August with our boots on the ground. It's been mostly on social media, right? Mostly within the study groups. But Marcus Garvey Day coming, and we in solidarity with the brothers and sisters that put that on. We got our brothers and sisters here in Birmingham that fly them RBG flags, man. They go out there every weekend. So New Era Birmingham. So we definitely gonna put our boots on the ground with them.
And we have our community center now as well, our Crescent Cultural Center, where me and Bomani gonna be holding some workshops on, like I said, Black August. After that is gonna be Kwanzaa. After, you know what I'm saying, we just gonna be getting these details and resources to our people.
Yeah, but some of the number one things that we all can do, right? We can write a political prisoner.
Yes.
And we have a couple campaigns that are going on right now. You got the Free Rochelle McGee, and Rochelle McGee is one of the long. Again, that's another name that we will talk about during Black August, right? He participated in the Marion. He's one of the survivors of the Marion Courthouse Rebellion, right? And he's the longest sitting political prisoner that we have in prison right now. So there's a movement to free him. Again, Mutulu Mumia. Again, let's get it. Let's. One of the things we can do is write a political prisoner, or when y'all see those petitions come down the timeline,
compassionate release petitions,
all that, man. Just sign it. It take a couple minutes, man. Sign them with all your emails. All of us got multiple emails. Take the time to sign those petitions, man. It can help.
Sign them and share them. Yeah.
These dudes freeing Kodak Black and Meek. They had a whole. You talking about in Philly, man?
These motherfuckers just gave Billy the Kid a pardon.
Come on,
Billy
man.
the Kid, y'all. Thank you. So this is some real shit.
I ain't mad at Meek Mill being free, but they were talking about Meek Mill, political prisoner in Philly.
And the Move 9 was still
come on, man.
We ain't doing that.
Come on, y'all.
So let's get real.
Yes, write a political prisoner.
And I ain't heard Meek say Mamiya name yet.
Thank you.
Come on.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
Come on. Now he did get out trying to be positive, but that ain't enough. Not when people hit the streets for you. Not when you that movement Philly. Should have been Mamiya's movement. Yes. Right. So again, and I'm not hating to your brother. I'm glad you out. You know what I'm saying? It was some BS why you was in there in the first place.
I'm hating. I'm mad. No, I'm just playing.
Well, yep.
For real. You can't be from Philly, bruh, and not get your political prisoners up out of there. You just cannot. Like, this is crazy. Definitely. But it just goes to show you he need a little bit more political education. You feel me? Even though you come from that city, don't mean facts.
Right.
So I reckon us, like our people, our intellectual folks, we need to start getting on these motherfucking rappers, y'all. I'm not joking. We need to like have these sit down face to face. They need a class like this. I'm not joking. Like, I'm being very serious, because they have the resources. They got that bread that we need to go ahead and make this shit shake. Y'all doing all this extra stuff. We really gotta, just like we let Obama slide, we can't do it. We can't do it no more. Like, period. We can't. Y'all using our political, like I said, you being culture vultures, even our own people. Like I said, Beyonce, y'all doing the Orisha thing, but what the hell you doing for real? Like, are y'all really trying to get y'all people out of here and shit? Or you just want to do a Black Panther performance, or are you really trying to get some fucking Black Panthers out? Or what's happening?
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So let's get on that train.
Right. I keep looking at this time. I'm ready to eat.
Oh my God, y'all, it's ridiculous.
But
man, y'all killed it.
But hopefully, Bomani, we answered some of them questions. And again, we're doing this in 4 parts. So next week we'll talk more in depth about the prison struggle. Again, we'll talk about, I guess, where it started, and the lack thereof before the 60s and 70s. We'll talk about Nolan. We'll talk about the brothers organizing. Part 3. We'll talk about the Soledad brothers and the movement, right? Again, like Z said earlier, it's almost impossible for a successful prison movement without people on the outside, moving also. And the Soledad brothers was a good example of that. You had Angela Davis, you had the Faye, the lawyer. You had a whole book that came out during that time. You had people going to outside of the prisons, had their boots on the ground outside the walls for the Soledad brothers.
From Berkeley and all that, So.
And the way that they got the information out is another key part, right? Because they were just going to do this speedy trial and get it over with and railroad those brothers. So again, the part 3 would be focused on that and just how we can also be in solidarity with the current prison struggle, right? We still have strikes. We still have fasts that's going on. These brothers and sisters was just rebelling during the COVID-19 because they didn't have, you had people dying in the cells with COVID-19 and there was no mask, no sanitary, no nothing. They were just leaving people in those prisons to die. And again, it's up to us out here to make some noise, right? They can make all the noise they want in there and they can be repressed and suppressed easily. But if we making noise out here and we keeping our eyes and ears to the struggle in there, we can really make a difference. And then our final week, part 4, Black August, we're going to be talking about the Marion County court, the rebellion and their aftermath. And we're going to be talking about the assassination of George Jackson and the rebellion that happened with the San Quentin Six. So we can talk about the San Quentin Six and the rebellion that happened that led to them becoming the San Quentin Six.
And I was going to wait to post a documentary, but I don't know. I may post a documentary in the group about the George Jackson documentary. I think it'd be good for everybody to watch and kind of also not just to watch, but to see how the media, how they could turn, the propaganda, how they could turn the story any way they want to. So I think that'll be interesting for us to see as well. How they try to paint George versus the racist police and COs that were in there, So I think that'll be a good thing for us to kind of analyze and come back to.
We appreciate everybody. I know that's about our time. We definitely appreciate everybody. Make sure you go like and follow all the IBFA groups. Make sure y'all join the Mad Liberation group on Facebook. Y'all,
George Jackson University.
Y'all, George Jackson University, most definitely. Yes. Y'all tune in and see the good stuff that's coming out of there. And y'all follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We ain't on Twitter. We halfway on Instagram, but make sure y'all follow us on Facebook, man. Keep us on point. Give us information, and y'all continue to follow this Black August. And I challenge everybody to commemorate to the best of your ability. So again, if you just by you even watching this is you participating in it, So again, I challenge you to add some of the fast in there, add some of the training, do some push-ups, get you a regimen going. Yeah. And I do see all my friends, and that's on my timeline, man. I see y'all out there commemorating Black August in the most revolutionary way y'all can, and keeping workouts on our mind, keeping us working out, keeping healthy foods on our mind when we are able to break fast, so on and so forth.
Our spiritual guys, we appreciate y'all doing the yoga and all this healing. We need y'all too. Y'all are revolutionary. We appreciate y'all. We can't do this without a clean mind. Minister Bomani, we appreciate you jumping in there with those facts, helping us out.
Yeah, definitely.
Sante.
That's our minister.
Ashe. Anything else, Tori? Hood Scholar. Always good to be on with y'all. It's a family thing.
Oh God, we just need Keon on. Y'all want to take some shots at Keon while you're here?
So Keon,
little ball head, small head, little leg, big lip.
Oh, bald head self.
But
roast your ass, boy.
All right, but thank y'all, everybody. Asante Sana, we appreciate you, and guess we'll be back next week with some more info. Peace.
Appreciate y'all. Let's heal. Let's get free ASAP.